All right, welcome everyone to who's out there listening to Mastering the Numbers. I am Joe Mallo with Elite Edge Consulting Group, powered by Focal Point Business and Executive Coaching. My guest today is Jeff Smelcer, the owner, founder of Northwest Group Services. Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Uh, Jeff, do us a favor. Tell us a little bit about Northwest Group Services, if you could.
Yeah, Northwest Group Services, we do business as NWGS. We're a third-party administrating company, also benefit communication company. So we do employee benefits and expense education to employees, HRIS, enrollment systems. And then we have the insurance side of the business where we offer ancillary type programs. Our whole company is kind of built on the fringes of the insurance industry. Our TPA is not a TPA that does claims administration in the sense of health claims. We do COBRA administration, HRA, FSAs, and so forth. And then we also do um, communications and educations through systems that will actually enroll health insurance benefits online and so forth, HRIS systems. But we're not a health broker. So we don't do their own health insurance. We wholesale to our health brokers or retail to public sector cases, things of that nature. And then the insurance side is the ancillary arm. So supplemental benefits, life insurance, so forth, disability, again, kind of the fringes of the insurance benefit or core benefit packages.
Okay. And it looks like you've been doing this for quite a while now, a little over 33 years.
Yes, I actually had my insurance license, believe it or not, as at 19 years old. Okay, so I'm second generation. My son's third generation. He's actually in the corporate side of the industry right now, which I think is a great thing for somebody to do if they can do it, and get that experience and so forth. But yeah, I've been in it for a while.
Okay, great. Well, it must be treating you well then if you've been in it for 33 years. For the audience, what inspired you to start your own business? I mean, what was that initial spark that led you to take that entrepreneurial leap?
Well, be perfectly honest, as I said, I had
Yeah.
my insurance license when I'm 19 years old. In college, I was double majoring. I was also an athlete. Malone over in Canton, Ohio. Okay. There by the Football Hall of Fame. And then sat down with my guidance counselor and counselor at that time. And he's talking about the double major of accounting and business and how exciting it was going to be for me to, be able to come out in that time and making $35,000 or $40,000 a year. Well, as I said, I am second generation insurance, so I've been around the insurance industry, and to say this kindly, I've watched people with less abilities make 100 grand a year. And I was asking myself, as I'm sure a lot of kids are with the debt that they're accumulating currently in college and so forth, why? Why was I here? So I took my license I currently had, and after a year at college, and decided to go out and become an independent contractor. So that was my first start in an entrepreneur spirit.
I've heard that story quite a bit over the last 20 years. A lot of people do get their start in insurance while they're still in college. So
Yeah.
that is very common. What were some of the biggest challenges going from, startup at such an early age to where you're at now, 33 years later?
You know, uh, Biggest challenges is just the realization, I think, when you first start in the industry that you have to do more than anybody will ever tell you that you have to do. Okay. You have to have the ability and the strength, just as any, strong will, sports minded, however you want to say it, individual that is determined that they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it, they're gonna make it to the end of the road, however they gotta make it if they gotta crawl. Okay. But for me, it was just, going out there and just continuing to talk to people until I found somebody that wanted to talk back to me. So I just never stopped. You know.
So it's that perseverance just to keep going, just to be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
That's great. I think you have to have that. I mean, anybody, any industry, anywhere, if you're going to be successful, you have to have perseverance. So everybody hears that. So what are some of the misconceptions about running a business, do you think, that are sitting out there?
Well, it just depends on what you want to say. I think some misconceptions are people think that it's too difficult, or, uh, there's probably two things I'll say here. One misconception is that, you have all the free time in the world, you're your own boss, so you do whatever you want to do. That's not true. Okay. I think that if you are your own boss and you have employees, you realize you work for those people. And then when you decide to work for those people and realize you're taking care of their families and making sure they have food on the table and so forth, you're going to, if you're the right person, and most people are, okay, regardless of how people want to say it, Midwestern type of wholesale or just United States, whatever. Most people want to do the right thing. You're going to do those things. I think the other thing that you have to realize is that you you really just have to be willing to do what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. And I think that you're fine. Treat it as a job. Okay. Treat it as a set your time, set your hours, and just treat it as a job. Pay yourself an income. Don't just take what comes in and use it. Okay. Plan, be a business person, do the things you need to do to be successful.
Do you have employees?
Yes, I do.
Yes, how many employees do you have inside your company now?
Well, I actually have 3 different companies, okay, at this point. Okay. So, on the TPA side, I have about 6 employees. I stay very automated on everything I do. I believe in making sure I'm using the best technology I possibly can. So claims and so forth, there's a lot of, systems you can utilize, debit cards or benefit cards and so forth, where you can utilize those things. On the insurance side, I'm probably up to about 30, and a lot of those are independent contractors. I have started a new site right now where I have an individual, AJ Granger. You might know that name from the past. That's with us now on NWGS Life. And, we're going to probably grow that to a few hundred independent contractors with that side of it. So.
Yeah, that name does sound familiar from somewhere. Like I said, I have spent a lot of time in the Toledo, Maumee area over the last 20 some years.
Well, if you think about Michigan State and their basketball team and Findlay, Ohio, and Liberty Benton, okay, AJ was on that national championship basketball team. That's where you probably get it from.
Okay, that makes sense then. Well, great. That's a lot going on there. So that really leads me to my next question. How do you maintain work-life balance?
I think if you understand, I've always stayed in the same arena. Okay. So I have not had a difficult time in my life doing that. 30, almost 19, I'm going to be 56. Okay. So almost 37 years actually. Okay. In the insurance business. So, I have worked the hours probably more so than I needed to when I was younger because I needed the experience, so I had the 40 hours where somebody would tell me when I was younger, 40 hours pay the bills. But if you want anything more, you better figure out how to work half a day. So that was, to me, half a day was 12 hours a day. Okay. Minimum. Okay. That was a standard day. Today, with technology, what we're doing right now, presentations, I give more presentations online than I have since COVID. My business has grown since the COVID era because I've been able to do more. Okay. I have actually been able to talk to more people. I don't have to drive 6-8 hours to run one appointment, to do things. I can communicate with yourself and, and other people. I can have 10 appointments a day. Okay. And still have time to do the things I want to do. I can have my 10 appointments done by noon. In the insurance industry before, that was never a possibility. Okay. So good people, good time. It's just good planning. It's just that simple. Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of things changed with the COVID era. I agree with you. I used to put 50, 60,000 miles a year on my car, and now I'll put 12 to 15,000. It's a total different world.
Absolutely.
So in a positive way. So that's great. Well, so you were talking about technology. I mean, so how do you stay adaptable, and open to change? Is it just something that becomes natural now?
It's always been natural to me. I've been very fortunate in the sense that, I know one thing, and the times when I haven't grown as a business is because I intentionally haven't grown because I was either, I would probably 8 years of my life where, my kids were going through junior high and high school. They were separated in 4 years or 4 years that I did work part-time. I was semi-retired. Okay. I was very fortunate to have a good, strong business, good, strong employees where, things maintained. Okay. And we may grew a little bit, but because I wasn't behind it. So those times I wasn't behind technology, but new blood, new technology, new thoughts, and I think new blood brings new technology. And what I mean by new blood is hiring people, bringing you got to bring people in. When you bring new people in, just listening to them, okay, and what they have to offer and thoughts they have. Not saying that they're always right, but usually you can bring something out of what they're having to bring to you, you know. And I think if you're that type of individual, you attract the right people too. Okay, so you have to always maintain new blood, bring in your business. I think new blood bringing your business will bring you in new people, new technology, new things.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So, you mentioned the, AJ Granger, looking to grow that up to 300. So, I mean, that's a good glimpse into your future. That looks like a pretty sizable undertaking. What challenges do you see sitting out there, whether it's just the business environment or just the environment in general? What challenges do you see in being able to take on that challenge?
Well, I mean, the cliche challenge is going to be everybody's going to say, it's going to be the people you're hiring. Okay, nobody wants to work, but the insurance business, what it's been. It's always been 1 out of 10 stick anyhow. Okay, so I still believe that 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, those good people are there that are tired of that corporate world. I just wish I could make people see the misconception, and I usually do if I can get to them, that they have of working for somebody, being a corporate employee, being whatever. I don't know if you have ever heard this, or let me put a question to you. Have you ever heard of an independent contractor being laid off? Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Never, but I've heard of a corporate person being laid off. That's what
Yeah,
led me into,
downsizing and everything
yeah.
else, all those things that happen. So it's always been amazing to me is how somebody is out there, and I have people that work for me that believe this. Okay, they're salary employees, and all my service people and staffers are salary employees. Okay, um, they just can't fathom not having that guarantee. And I look at them, I tell them, I go, how can you look at that as a guarantee? You do realize we're in the sales industry, right? So if we don't sell something, I'm not paying you. Okay. They're like, but you always have, Jeff. Okay. I go, I agree. Okay. But that's every business in the world. Okay. In every business in the world, if they're not selling their goods, they're not selling their services, they're not making a sell. Okay. There's no employees, there isn't any employees, there isn't anything. Okay. So it really comes down to finding those people that have that belief in themselves. As much as you want to call it an entrepreneur spirit, yeah, it's fine. But first is that willingness and belief that I want to take a chance on myself.
So it's just finding the right people, just like everything else.
Yeah,
Finding the right people.
absolutely.
So, well, I guess final question: what advice would you offer to an aspiring entrepreneur or someone who's looking to start their own business?
Well, there's two ways to start a business. One is to have a goods of some sort that you've invented or brought about, or a better way of doing it, okay, and taking it to market. Or you can be in some type of sales career, as you and I have done. Okay, I personally believe the latter of what we're talking about in the sales careers and the financial and insurance industry gives a person the opportunity to come into the business without a lot of overhead. Okay. Typically, you have to go out there and hire staff, hire employees, hire people. There's good people like possibly yourself, myself, that are out there that have all that in place. So what you have to finance is your personal time. Okay, your own time, your own paycheck, your own startup, 6 months. Okay. Many of us, over the years doing their own business may have gone in debt $1 million or whatever it is to keep it going. Okay. So you have a choice to, put a plan together, go out there and go into business and go into huge debt, or take a chance on yourself. Okay. And make it. I just think you have to be willing to take a chance on yourself either way. If you're not willing to do that, who knows? Okay. You probably need to work for somebody like us.
Yeah, probably. No, I guess part B of that question is what advice would you offer someone who's taken that leap? They're already in business, but they're facing challenges.
Well, okay, so you're facing challenges. Why are you facing those challenges? Okay, what take stock in yourself? What are you actually doing day to day? Okay, I know a lot of people that think that they're in sales or think that they're busy, and they've really done nothing but check their email. Okay, check their account and how much money, or check their employee to see what they've done. You know, make sure you're doing activity that's relevant to your success. Okay, so if sales is relevant to your success and you're starting out, you better go out and sell.
Right.
Okay, sales is nothing but a number. Okay, so if you don't make a sale if you got to call on 10 people to make an appointment, then you know you got to call on 100 to make 10 appointments. It's just numbers. Okay, and if you're unwilling to do that, then you're in the wrong place.
Absolutely. Now, listen, Jeff, I appreciate it. This was very helpful. The information you provided, very insightful. I want to thank Jeff Smelcer, owner founder of Northwest Group Services. Jeff, if you want to tell everybody your website so they can check your company out.
Certainly, it's nwgsonline.com, and you can find me on LinkedIn or so forth. So feel free to send me a note if you need to talk or want to talk.
Great. Thank you. And everybody, have a great day and see you next time on Mastering the Numbers. Take care.